So the Cleveland Cavaliers lost to the Brooklyn Nets tonight, but I'm not completely disappointed in this loss. A lot of it wasn't their fault, but there's a lot I think they can do at the trade deadline to legitimize their chances to be a contender. The Nets just couldn't miss from behind the arc, and it was just demoralizing to watch. The problem is, the Cavs just have too many guys that can't hit wide open shots to save their lives. Anyways, Darius Garland had an unreal game tonight, and it's nice to see that he's starting to get going, and him and Mitchell are going to be super dangerous in April. I just love to see how resilient this Cavs team is. Even on a bad night, they're never out of it. Before I get into this video, now since the NBA season is finally in full swing, I'm going to be pumping out so much content, so I would really appreciate all of your support. It only takes 5 seconds to like and subscribe, plus you can always change your mind. I'm now on the road to 10k subscribers, and I know you all can help me get there very fast. And by the way, thank you all for getting me past 7k. It truly means the world, and we are just growing super fast right now. So, like I was saying, this Nets game wasn't a bad loss for the Cavs. They just got outshot by KD and Kyrie, and on the defensive end, there wasn't much they could do because there's nobody in the league that can guard KD, and he just made about everything no matter what they threw at him. Even though the Nets caught fire tonight, there was still a lot the Cavs could have done to take the W, and that's what I'm going to be talking all about in this video. So starting out with the obvious, the Cavs are going to need to make a trade for a reliable or at least respectable corner shooter, because as much as I love Okoro, Stevens, Levert, and Osman, they just don't have the shooter's touch, and you just can't have 4 guys in the rotation who can be left open by opposing defenses, and I will get into what trades I would like to happen later. Again, the Cavs did show that they can compete with anyone in the league tonight, so that was nice to see, but they just need to get over the hump to start winning these big games. We just can't start out down by 15, because against good teams, we're not going to be able to come back all the way and get the win. Anyways, moving on to the positive things that I saw in this game tonight, Darius Garland had a career night and almost had 50. It was nice to see that, because in previous games I was worried that he wasn't being used as much and it was becoming Donovan's team. Not that it's a problem being that way, but this needs to be both Mitchell and Garland's team for us to go far. Speaking of Donovan, he's been cold in his last few games, and even tonight, if he just made a few more shots, the Cavs would have won. This team just needs to find a way to knock down timely shots, because every time they take the momentum and have a chance to make a big swing, they always miss the wide open shot that would have brung the house down. Now moving on, I want to go on my daily Cedi Osman rant. And there's a few players like Okoro and Levert that this is also intended toward. But anyways, if Osman's not going to hit any threes in games that matter, then I don't know what the point of him being on this team is. Majority of Osman's points are from wide open fast break layups, so that's why his stat lines usually look decent. But man, whenever there is a big wide open shot, he never knocks it down. I guess we gotta take what I'm saying with a grain of salt though, because he does bring a lot of energy every night, and he had one of the best plus minuses on the team tonight, but I just don't know. I would hate to see some of these guys like him get traded, but we're never gonna go far in the playoffs with guys who can't make wide open shots. Opposing defenses can just put all their focus on Garland and Mitchell, and I can't even imagine how unstoppable this team would be with a few knockdown shooters sitting in the corners. So that brings me into the first player I think the Cavs should target at the deadline in Kyle Kuzma. I know he's a guy that's risen his stock recently, and it would be tough to make a trade work, but I'm willing to give up whatever it takes to get him, because we just need to fill the hole in our starting lineup. Kuzma is one of those guys who is a Cavs killer. He loves to play in Cleveland, and even though this is one of the more unlikely trade rumors, it's the one I like the most. Again, the guys that this Cleveland team can definitely trade at the deadline are Cedi Osman, Caris Levert, Isaac Okoro, and most definitely Dylan Windler, who literally does nothing. The more I think about it, we probably need to keep Stevens around because we need that big physical guy for the bench. Coming into this season, I really did think Caris Levert was the guy who would be the long-term starting small forward, but his ball control is just horrible. He has no touch on his shots. He will shoot a wide open layup and just throw it off the glass. It's honestly so weird to watch what he does. Anyways, getting back into the trade rumors, the next player I think the Cavs could really use is Josh Richardson from the Spurs. Most Cavs fans already know what this dude is all about, as he torched Cleveland in the Spurs upset win last week. He's definitely a guy that would fit right into this Cavs offense, and even if he came off the bench, he is still the kind of guy this team desperately needs. Richardson is a little bit streaky, but he shoots 36% from behind the arc, and again, all I'm asking for is a respectable shooter so the opposing defense can't just go double Garland and Mitchell with no consequences. Getting another shooter would also free up Allen and Mobley inside. Also, if there's a trade candidate I don't get to in this video, make sure to drop it in the comments below and I will let you know my thoughts. Moving on, the third and final player I think the Cavs should really consider going after at the deadline is OG Anunoby. This one is obviously the dream scenario, and I think it would be tough for the Raptors to give up on him. We'd probably have to give up almost our whole bench, but he's another Cavs killer, and the Raptors have a below 500 record, so they might be willing to make a few changes. OG Anunoby would for sure complete this starting lineup without a question, and again, I would be willing to give up most of our bench for him because Rubio is coming back, and I still believe in him. So those are basically a few of my favorite trade candidates for this Cleveland Cavaliers team, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It will be interesting to see if the Cavs even make a trade at all, because I know they have great chemistry, but again, it's a business, and if we're talking championship, then they gotta have some knockdown shooters. Anyways, it'll be very interesting to see what happens, and no matter what, the Cavs still have a very bright future, and they continue to prove that they can compete with anyone. I can't picture any team that is going to be able to cakewalk this team in a 7-game series. It's going to be a tough matchup for anyone. At the end of the day, Cedi Osman has earned all of our trust, and I fully believe in whatever he decides to do. Just 2 years ago, we could barely even get 20 wins, and without signing any big free agents, Kobe rebuilt this team from scratch all the way to being one of the best teams in the league. Even though the Cavs lost to the Nets tonight, they showed signs of what they can do. They had a great comeback that ended up being just a little bit short. If they played defense like they played down the final 5-minute stretch, then they definitely could have won this game, but that's unrealistic because they were absolutely swarming. That's all I have to say for today. There's just been so much craziness going on in the NBA so far this season, and it has been so much fun to watch. I covered a lot in this video, and obviously there is so much more to talk about. I'm going to continue to pump out as much content as possible for you guys, so I would really appreciate it if you would join me for the ride. I'm on the road to 10k subscribers, and I believe y'all can help me get there. Also, one more thing, make sure to comment below what you want to see next. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later.